To make the rear view mirror, we're going to go up to the top here. We're going to select this edge, so it's the edge that sticks out, and then there's a straight edge in the center. That's the edge that we want. We're going to do Shift F and cursor to selected. I'm going to tab into object mode, go to create and choose circle, change the vertex count to 6 and press enter. We're going to tab into edit mode, do R, X and then 90 and press enter. We're going to do S to scale this down. Then we're going to do R, Y and then 30 and press enter so that the points are on the left and right rather than up and down. I'm going to scale it down on the Z axis by doing S and then Z, and then scale it down some more in general just by doing F. If you want it to be a little bit wider or shorter, you can do S and then X, and then you can make it a little bit longer or a little bit shorter. I want mine to be about like that, I think, and then I want it to be smaller, so I'm going to scale it down by using F. Once you're happy with it, you're going to do E to extrude, right click to cancel, and you're going to bring it in this direction on the Y axis. Then we'll do F, make a face, and we're going to need an edge loop straight in the center here. To do that, we can do Control R, left click, right click on the top, and do Z for wireframe, Control R, left click, right click on the bottom. Z to get out of wireframe, go to vertex select and select these two vertices, and J to join them. You can also select these two, J to join, and then do the same on this side as well. We're going to do A twice and then Control N to recalculate the normals. I'm going to do Alt right click to select the middle edge loop, Control B to make a bevel on this, and you want to make one about this big here, and then left click. Then we're going to go to face select this front face, E to extrude, right click to cancel and bring it out some. Then we're going to switch to edge select this edge and bring it down some. Then we'll switch back to face select the bottom edge right here, and then we'll do E to extrude, right click to cancel, bring it down, and we're also going to bring it in a bit on the Y axis. So you want to bring it in this direction on the Y axis. I'm going to bring it a bit further down, and then I'm going to scale it down on the X axis. So I'm going to do F then X and just scale it down to make it a little bit skinnier. I'm going to do Control R, left click and bring this down to about here, left click again, switch to face select, and I want to select this bottom face. So I'm going to go to wireframe by pressing Z and select this bottom face here. Then we're just going to bring it forward. I think I want to make this a little shorter, so I'm going to do Q to slide this up a little bit. And I'm going to switch to vertex select, Alt right click here and do Q to slide this up a little bit as well, and then just bring it forward on the Y axis some. Now we just need to make a rectangle to make our actual mirror. So I'm going to select these 2 points, do Shift F, cursor to selected, and we're going to create a plane. So go to create and choose plane. We're going to do R, X and then 90 and press enter. S to scale this down. You're going to want to do S and then Z to make it more of a rectangle rather than square, and then just do S to scale it down until you have the size that you want. You can do S and Z to make it a little bit taller, or you can do S and X to make it a little bit wider depending on what you feel is appropriate. Once you're happy with it, you're going to do Control Shift and B to do a vertex bevel and just add some bevel to the corners here, so that's probably going to be fine like that. Just left click. Then I'm going to go to face select. I'm going to select this face, do E to extrude, right click to cancel, and we're going to bring it forward to give it some thickness. Then we're going to do I to inset, and we'll just do a small inset. Then we'll do I to inset again, this time do a very small inset, and then we're just going to left click and drag this back some. This will be the actual mirror part, and the rest of this is the casing for it. Then we can do Control L and Control N to recalculate the normal. And lastly, we just want to make quads out of this, so we're going to switch to vertex select and select these two vertices on the top and just press J so we have a quad at the top, and then do the same at the bottom. Select these two vertices and do J to join them. We're going to want to make quads on the back side too, so we're going to tab into object mode, do Shift H to hide the car, then tab into edit mode. We're going to select these top two and J to join, then select these two and J to join as well. Then we need to add in some bevels, so we're going to go over here, we're going to bring this up. We want to make sure you're in the modifiers tab, add modifier, choose bevel, change it from limit method to weight. Then we're going to switch to edge select, and we're going to start selecting the edges we want. So I'm going to Alt right click on this edge loop, Alt and Shift on this edge loop, and then you also want the inner edge loop, so I'm going to Alt and Shift right click, Alt and Shift right click, then hold Shift and select top as well as the bottom edge loop, then do Control E, edge bevel weight, go till it says 1 and left click. We want to add some bevels to this piece as well, so we're going to Alt right click, Alt and Shift right click, then we're going to select these two here, and we're going to Alt and Shift right click, and then do the same here, Alt and Shift right click. Make sure you select these two as well. We'll do Control E, edge bevel weight, go till it says 1 and left click. Then we want to do the same here. We want to select these edges on the top and then these edges right here. You want to select this nice little edge loop, do Control E, edge bevel weight, go till it says 1 and left click. Then lastly, if you want this side and this side to be a bit more rounded rather than having a point, you can can select this edge and then hold shift, select this edge, do control B to make a bevel, and we're going to press M a few times. You can see down here it says M offset or mode offset, and it's M to change it. So we're going to press M a few times. It's going to switch to width, depth, and then percent. Once it's on percent, you can type in 50 on the number pad and then press enter, and that will give you a nice more rounded shape to this object. I'm going to tab into object mode, go to tools, and turn on smooth shading. As usual, it'll look a bit nicer if you increase the segments, but for now I'm going to leave the segments at 1. I'm going to do Alt H to unhide our car, and then I'm going to save this by going to File and Save. Whoop. Thank you to our awesome Patreon supporters. If you'd like to become a Patreon supporter yourself, head on over to patreon.com/StephenBrooks. Thank you for your support.